Edwin Judd was born in Charlottetown, Oregon on May the 7th, 1923 to Harry Orrin and Emma Mae McClellan Judd, who were entrepreneurs and short-term missionaries to Alaska. Harry Pop Judd was a lay minister and Bible teacher. In 1943, he was married to Evelyn Minor, his childhood sweetheart and classmate in grade school. To this union was born two children, Donna and Stephen, both whom were actively involved in ministry at this time. 6 months after marriage, he was conscripted into the Army in 1944 and served 2 years during and at the end of World War II. 16 months of this time was served in India, Burma, and China. Simultaneous with entering military service, he began to feel a call to the ministry and easily made the commitment to that end. He served as a chaplain during most of his overseas tour of duty. This position also brought him in touch with many missionaries in the area where he was located. This exposure to missions had a major impact upon the direction of his future ministry. Following his military discharge in the fall of 1946, he enrolled in the Pentecostal Bible Institute in Tupelo, Mississippi. He graduated from PBI in 1949 with a Bachelor of Theology degree. Upon his graduation, he served as Dean of Faculty for 4 years. He was licensed as a minister with the United Pentecostal Church International in 1947 and was ordained in 1951. He was a charter member of the Mississippi District. While serving at PBI, he started a church near Shannon, Mississippi, and pastored there for 4 years. In 1952, after a 1-year leave of absence from PBI, he graduated from Cascade College in Portland, Oregon with a Bachelor of Arts in Education and returned to his duties at PBI. In 1954, he became Dean Registrar of the newly formed Conquerors Bible College in Portland, Oregon, and he filled this position for 12 years. In 1966, he became president and served for 2 years until moving to St. Louis to become more involved with foreign missions. As an outgrowth of his exposure to the work of missionaries of other faiths while serving overseas, from his early days in Bible college, he felt definite call to become a strong supporter and promoter of the foreign missionary cause as a part of his ministry. Throughout his 19 years of Bible college ministry, he was instrumental in keeping the challenge of the Great Commission integrated into the entire Bible college program. He sought to ingrain the concept that every believer had a responsibility to be involved with missions, either by going as a missionary or by supporting and sending those who were called to go. Consequently, a relatively large number of foreign students or former students became and still are missionaries at this time. At one time, 25% of all the UPCI missionaries and 5 of 6 global missions regional directors were graduates of Conquerors Bible College. In the late 50s and early 60s, he authored the entire adult Sunday school teachers quarterly for the United Pentecostal Church. During that same period, he became the district Sunday school director, first for the Northwestern District and then the newly formed Oregon District. In keeping with his keen sense of responsibility to the mission cause, he used this platform to emphasize missions throughout the Sunday school. While involved with Sunday school, he was appointed chairman of a general teacher training committee. In this capacity, he co-authored 2 training manuals to be used in this program, Know Your Pupil and Teaching Missions in the Sunday School. In 1956, he founded the United Pentecostal Church in Oregon City, Oregon, in addition to his full-time ministry at CBC. After 4 years, he turned this church to another pastor who would have time to develop its full potential. In 1963, he was appointed as a pastoral member of the Foreign Missions Board of the United Pentecostal Church International. He and other pastors in the Portland area joined actively in the Faith Promise giving concept in their annual missions conference in their churches. At the same time, the concept was put into practice among the student body of CBC with a tremendous impact upon the students as they became actively involved in the support of missions. In 1968, at the request of the Global Missions Board, he resigned from the presidency of CBC and became the first promotional director of the Global Missions at the headquarters of the United Pentecostal Church International, with the express mandate to introduce the Faith Promise concept throughout the organization. Soon after assuming this position, he was instrumental, along with others, in designing the Partners in Missions program, and he introduced this new program at the 1969 United Pentecostal Church General Conference. The growth of missionary support grew exponentially soon thereafter, from hundreds of thousands of dollars to many millions annually. After serving in this capacity for nearly 4 years, in 1972, he was appointed the first regional field supervisor for the Latin American region, which at that time included South America, Central America, and the Caribbean islands. During this tenure of 4 years, the Judge based out of Quito, Ecuador. At that time, 40% of the United Pentecostal Church missionaries were under appointment to this region. He was appointed General Secretary of the Foreign Missions in 1976 and served in that role for 21 years. During this time, the church experienced tremendous expansion and growth as it was blessed of the Lord of harvest to do so. Upon retirement at the age of 73 in 1966, he and his wife made their home in Jonesboro, Arkansas, where his son, Stephen Judd, was pastoring. At the General Conference in 2012, he was inducted into the United Pentecostal Church Order of the Faith. He continued to serve as an honorary member of the UPCI Global Missions Board until his passing, serving a total of 53 years. When Stephen Judd was called to become president and CEO of Tupelo Children's Mansion, Edwin and Evelyn Judd gladly moved to Tupelo, where they had lived for 8 years at the start of their ministry. Until his passing, he filled an active role in the staff at TCM, serving as senior advisor, financial assistant, payroll manager, and human services manager. In 2004, his beloved wife of 60 years passed on to her eternal reward. While Evelyn was not personally involved in the limelight of public ministry, she was a faithful, loyal, and dedicated companion in his ministry, always willing to make an active sacrifice whatever it required to do the will of God wherever he was called and whatever work was called to do. Since the passing of his wife, he has made his home with his son and daughter-in-law, Stephen and Irma Judd. Edwin Judd went to his heavenly home to be with the Lord on Wednesday, May 18th, at the age of 93, following a 6-week illness. He was very active until his passing, even enjoying a round of golf and working at his desk on the day prior to and the morning of his hospitalization. He is preceded in his death by his wife, Evelyn Irene Minor Judd, by his parents, Harry Owen Judd and Elma Mae McClellan Judd, by his sisters, Laura Bell Gleason, Pauline Granquist, and Esther Minor, and by his granddaughter, Kamala Marie Holland Martin. He is survived by his children, Stephen H. Judd, wife Irma, Donna Marie Judd Holland, and husband Ralph. His 4 grandchildren includes Stephen Holland and wife Courtney, Tamisha Judd Uttermark, husband Chad, Timothy Holland, wife Abigail, and Tamara Judd Sanders with husband Ben. His 14 grandchildren or great-grandchildren include Ethan and Madeline Holland, Chelsea and Carolyn Martin, Judd, Jake, and Evelyn Jayla Uttermark, Hannah, Susanna, Priscilla, Lydia, and Timothy Holland, and Baron and Levi Edwin Sanders. What a man. I think he deserves a round of applause.